God, that's turned upside down. What's it doing? Hello and welcome back to my channel. So thank you to everybody joining in today. Just a quick video, just a few minutes. I'm just literally going to do an update on my GBBs, the green bottle blue, the Chromatopelma Cyaneopubescens. I got it right this time. You can see both the enclosures there. That's the females and that's the male's enclosure there. So I'm just going to give you a quick update on both of them and just see how they are and potentially feed them if they need feeding. We've got quite a lot in here now, so I do forget what I fed and what I haven't until I get in there and actually have a look. I should note this down really, but I've been managing it all myself. But yeah, so it's just a quick update to see how they're going and to see if they've actually done some web and how well they're taken to being on sand. Because if you remember, I put them in both enclosures with sand and not on substrate, but they're absolutely doing fine and they're loving it at the minute. So let's crack straight on with this video and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is the female's enclosure. This is what she's done. It took her quite some time. She kept going at the back and just literally sitting at the back and then doing a little bit of webbing here on the floor, a little bit over here, then stopped and then continually started to web up the whole door, nothing else. And then she did a web blanket here so that she could do her molting. And she brought a leaf up and just webbed that in. Since then, she started to web up everywhere at the top, all over. She's doing new strands all down here. It's starting to web up the center. She's starting to span out the enclosure, which looks absolutely stunning. And you can see she's done a chamber or a tunnel down through here. Just going to ruin this bit. She constantly webs it up because obviously I've opened the door all the time and it just ruins it, but she webs this over. But there she is. And you can see she's well fed, nice plump bum. I think what I'm going to do is see if she'll take something else, because I want to get her nice and fat so that she molts quickly to catch up, because I want her to be the same as the male. She's turning around to me now. In fact, no, I will not, because she's still actually guarding the last roach I put in there. She's still feeding off that one, so she's quite an ample size. Yeah, you can see her fangs going in. Even though I'm here, she's still feeding. She's like, nope, don't take that away. So I was going to feed her, but I forgot to put that in 2 days ago. And she's still feeding off it, so the abdomen is plentiful for her. She's quite a decent size. But also I've noticed whether this is her feces, but she's doing these little balls that she rolls up and she sticks it in this one corner, nowhere else over the enclosure, but she sticks it there. There's no other poo shot over the glass at all. I think you got, if you can see on the glass tank there, that's the poo she did when she first came in, so I'm going to give that a clean off so you can tell it's that colour. But then what she does now is she uses this as her poo corner. So she rolls it in the sand and then leaves it in that one corner, which is absolutely brilliant. She cleans it up by herself, which I never knew a GBB could do. So the previous ones I had before where I put them on cocoa fibre, they literally just did it everywhere. But obviously she's keeping this enclosure very, very tidy, because if you notice, there's no poo anywhere where she's staying. So she's keeping her house very, very clean, which is absolutely amazing. So I think I'm not going to disturb her too much because she's still feasting on her dinner. So some of them can take up to 2 hours. No, sorry, some of them can take up to like a day, 2 days to feed. And that was a big roach I gave her because I wanted to fatten her up, because I think her abdomen was half that size. She was taking crickets, but crickets you have to give quite a large number to get the same quantity. And I don't want to keep using the repetition of feeding her the little crickets, so try and give her a bigger meal and then I don't have to feed her for a week, maybe more, so I can leave her for quite a bit of time, which would be quite good. But let's just check on the male. Right, so there's the male on my shelf. I'm not going to move the enclosure because he gets very, very startled. If I touch the lid, he'll run off, and he's actually still eating a roach I gave him yesterday. But you can see his abdomen is nowhere near as big as a female's, but I don't want it to be as big as a female's because I want to slow this guy down, because he's molted recently as well. His molt's at the back over there, and he's jumped in some size, like literally half size bigger since the last time. So, and I've had a few GBBs before, and I've had a male probably molt out one more molt after this, and I do not want this guy molting out into mature male, not anytime soon. So I'm going to give him that food just to get his abdomen up, and then I'm going to leave him be for some time. So hopefully he will be good, and I can keep him for some time now, so I can get this female right up and ready to pair them. I'll be absolutely amazed. So that's another project of mine that I want to do, because I do want to pair these. But you can just see they're absolutely stunning. They're just really, really beautiful. And you can see what he's done. He's webbed all over the floor at the back of his enclosure. He's always by his water dish, so I always top up the water dish. I've not seen either of these drink, but they do go near it. And they've both done the left hand side. So the female's enclosure is next to his, and he's webbed up on the left hand side, and he's done a chamber. You can't really see the webbing at the top, but it's like a circle bit going over at the top. And he's actually starting to web up the back. So each week that goes on, they do more and more webbing. So I'm hoping that over time this will be completely enclosed, and it'll just be a carpet of web everywhere, because you can see the different size enclosure to the female with her webbing, which I've just destroyed a bit, but she'll go, after eating that one, she'll go and do a lot more webbing, because you can see it goes all the way up to the top of the lid. But I don't want to open this lid. I do not want to disturb him. I'm going to let him finish on his roach. But there you go. So that's the update on my GBBs. Okay, let's flip to a month later. Okay, so this is a month later, just over actually, and you can see that it's done way more webbing. So I'm going to attempt to feed this one in a second. That's the old food there at the back, but the female is in pre-molt at the minute, and she's about to molt any day now, so I'm going to update her on a future video. So let's get straight on and see if I can tempt this one to eat. It's like I need an extra hand to get the lid and get this roach inside, but what I've noticed is they absolutely love living on sand. I couldn't stress it more. They absolutely love it, and they keep it very, very clean. So let's see if we can get this one in. God, that's turned upside down. What's it doing? It's on its back, look. That roach is massive. This is the male GBB. I have never seen it do that before. Can't get fang action. It's literally on its back on the sand. Roach is still alive. You can see the size of this roach. This dubia. In fact, I can actually get out the molt now while I'm here. There we go. Oh, it's turning over. Look at the colours of that. That is stunning. Oh, look, the fang's going right in just below the head. Sorry mate, what way to go. Oh, that is a brilliant shot. This, I'm trying to deliberately slow this male down just so it keeps in similar size to the female I've got. Because this one is so food hungry, it will just keep eating and eating, and it will just keep on molting as it's molted again. So I will not feed this one now for some good few weeks, maybe even longer. That should fatten it up nicely, and because of the temperature with the heat at the minute, that'll probably force it into another molt within a few months, which I don't want to keep pushing it too far to get it into its final molt. Still alive, look. Amazing how calm it is letting me get that close, isn't it? Gonna have to tap its foot to get its foot back in. Metal tongs, because they don't like the touch of it. Oh, see, it's curious again, see what I mean? There you go. Oh, that's a good shot. Stay there, mate, stay there. See the eyes?
Yeah.
Wow, that is brilliant. Well, there you go. So that's my GBB update. The female's still in pre-molt at the moment. She's up the top there. Done a little web hammock, and she's going to actually molt probably in the next week or so. But as you can see with the enclosure, look at that webbing. Look at it everywhere. It's done tunnels and chambers all over the place. And that big one back there, that's where it molted. It's done a carpet at the back, but it's just webbed up everything all together. And I think you'll agree that it looks absolutely stunning with the colours of the GBB. And that is now going to be well fed, and the abdomen will come up in size. So that's absolutely brilliant. So keep posted for future updates.